Making headlines this hour, President Dr. Mohammed arrives in Beijing, China for an official visit at the invitation of Chinese President Xi and a recipient of the prestigious Order of the Dignified Rule of Mulige Dynasty NMSA passed away in Singapore at the age of 78. On the 7th anniversary of its inauguration, President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu commemorates the Sinamala Bridge, highlighting its role in fostering a strong relationship between Maldives and China. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSV News in English with me, Minha Maroof. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu arrives in Beijing, China for an official visit at the invitation of Chinese President Xi Jinping. On his arrival at the Beijing Capital International Airport, President Muizzu was warmly welcomed by China's Minister of Emergency Management, Wang Xiangxi, the Maldives' ambassador to China, Dr. Fazil Najib, and China's ambassador to the Maldives, Kong Xinhua. He was accorded an honor guard followed by a cultural performance held in recognition of his official visit. During the visit, President Dr. Muizzu is scheduled to hold bilateral meetings with President Xi Jinping and other foreign leaders. Furthermore, the president will participate in high-level engagements during the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit. Notably, President Dr. Muizzu will deliver a statement at the SCO Plus meeting, where he will underscore the importance of multilateral cooperation in addressing global challenges such as climate change, economic fragmentation, and geopolitical tensions. The SCO is a regional body focused on political, economic, and security matters across Eurasia. It was formed in 2001 by 6 nations: China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. As the world's largest regional organization in terms of geographic scope and population, SCO has now expanded to 10 member states, with several more engaged as observers or dialogue partners. The Maldives is a dialogue partner of SCO. Muhammad Umar Manik, a pivotal figure in the development of the Maldives' tourism industry and a recipient of the prestigious Order of the Dignified Rule of Mulige Dynasty NMSA, passed away in Singapore at the age of 78. His death prompted an outpouring of condolences from across the nation, including from President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu. Manik, affectionately known as M.U. Manik, had been receiving medical treatment in Singapore, where he passed away in the morning. His funeral prayer is scheduled to take place in Singapore. In a public statement, President Muizzu expressed his profound sorrow and acknowledged Manik's immense contributions to transforming the Maldives into a leading global tourist destination. The president highlighted Manik's pivotal role in shaping the country's tourism landscape and extended his prayers and condolences to Manik's family. Vice President Hussein Mohammad Latif echoed the president's sentiments to offer his condolences to Manik's family at this difficult time. Manik's career is intrinsically linked with the story of Maldivian tourism. In 1972, he worked with a small group of fellow entrepreneurs to launch the country's first ever resort, Kurumba Village, on the island of Vihamenafushi. This was a bold and imaginative move, coming after a United Nations delegation had deemed the islands unsuitable for tourism. Manik's vision helped establish the One Island, One Resort model that defines the country's hospitality sector today. Under his leadership, Universal Enterprises grew to become one of the nation's largest and most respected resort operators, managing multiple resort properties over the years. Beyond his work in tourism, Manik had a distinguished public service career spanning nearly 2 decades, during which he held several influential roles. He was the chairman of the Maldives Association of Tourism Industry, MATI, for over 30 years and served as chairman of the Maldives Airports Company Limited, MACL, until early 2024. He was also a board member of the Maldives Monetary Authority (MMA) and Island Aviation Services Limited. President Dr. Mohammad Moizu announces that the government will introduce a National Engineers Award from 2026 to recognize the invaluable contributions of engineers to the nation. He made the announcement while addressing the inaugural National Engineers Day celebrated in the Maldives. The president extended greetings and appreciation to all engineers serving across diverse sectors and formally declared 30th August as Maldives Engineers Day to be observed annually at the national level. The date was selected to coincide with the inauguration of the Sinamale Bridge, the country's largest infrastructure project. Reflecting on the transformative impact of the Sinamale Bridge on the social and economic life of Maldivians over the past 7 years, the president underscored the pivotal role of engineers in realizing the administration's vision of making the Maldives a developed nation by 2040, advancing digitalization and achieving renewable energy goals. The president further affirmed the government's commitment to expanding opportunities for academic research, education and training in engineering fields, alongside recognition through the National Engineers Award. Concluding his remarks, President Dr. Moizu highlighted the integrity and innovation of Maldivian ancestors, noting that today's engineers continue this legacy by driving national progress. He ended his address with a prayer for a golden era of prosperity for the Maldives. On the 7th anniversary of its inauguration, President Dr. Mohammad Moizu commemorates the Sinamale Bridge, highlighting its role in fostering a strong relationship between Maldives and China. In a social media post, the president expressed how the bridge stands as a testament to the collaboration and mutual trust developed over the years. During this occasion, the president underscored the importance of the Sinamale Bridge in Maldives' development, referring it to as a vital conduit for progress. The Sinamale Bridge, which was constructed under full supervision of President Moizu during his tenure as Minister of Housing, has become a landmark project for the country. Referring to it, he remarked about its significance and the successful partnership that brought it to fruition. In January of the previous year, during an interview with a Chinese television channel, President Moizu remarked on the ambitious nature of similar projects like the Sinamale Bridge in the Indian Ocean region. Such initiatives are pivotal for enhancing connectivity and stimulating development for the communities involved, he had said. Commissioned in mid-2014, the Sinamale Bridge was completed in just under 4 years, opening on 30th August amidst vibrant celebrations. The total cost of the project amounted to $300 million, with significant financial contributions from the Chinese government, including a $100 million grant aid and an additional $170 million loan assistance. Structurally, the bridge spans 1.39 kilometers in length and is designed to symbolize the enduring friendship between Maldives and China. With a width of 20.3 meters, it featured 2 lanes for vehicular traffic and 2 lanes dedicated to cyclists, facilitating transport and improving accessibility for residents in Male, Hurumale and the surrounding areas. The president's remarks serve as a reminder of the ongoing collaboration between the two nations, with the Sinamale Bridge standing tall as a beacon of hope and partnership in the face of future developments. The Maldives crosses a major threshold in its most expansive reforestation effort to date, with more than 650,000 trees planted under the government's 5 million trees planting program. Figures released by the Ministry of Tourism and Environment place the current total at 658,294 trees, underscoring the scale of the initiative aimed at restoring the country's natural landscapes and reinforcing its environmental resilience. The program was first introduced by President Dr. Mohammad Moizu during his address at the 28th United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP28, held in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The summit, recognized as the world's foremost climate forum, provided the platform for the Maldives to announce its 5-year commitment to plant 5 million trees. The campaign officially began on World Environment Day. At the heart of this initiative is a mission to revitalize endangered tree species native to the Maldives, expand green cover across the islands, and promote ecological sustainability. While the program's title references 5 million trees, pledges from a broad coalition of public institutions and private entities have raised the target to 6.4 million, making it the largest tree planting endeavor in the nation's history. A key component of the campaign involves the cultivation of indigenous species at risk of extinction. Authorities have identified 90 such species, which are now being prioritized for propagation and replanting. This focus by President Moise's government reflects a broader strategy to preserve biodiversity while addressing the environmental vulnerabilities of the island nation. The government has set a near-term goal of planting 2 million trees by the end of the current year. Support has come from across sectors, with several major organizations committing substantial numbers. Rosewood Ranfaru has pledged 1,478,244 trees, while both the Housing Development Corporation and Maldives Ports Limited have committed to 1 million each. SDM Farm has offered 75,000 trees, the State Electric Company Limited, Stelco, 600,000, and RCL, 500,000. Additional contributors have collectively promised 1,081,150 trees, reinforcing the momentum behind the national effort. Public engagement has also been encouraged, with the government inviting citizens to participate through tree donations and planting activities. The campaign has drawn attention beyond national borders, with neighboring countries reportedly contributing trees to support the initiative. Adam Sharif Umar, Minister of Cities, Local Government and Public Works, underscores the critical role played by Shaviani Atoll in the 16th century jihad led by Sultan al-Ghazi Muhammad Takrufanu al-Awzam Siri Sawaditha Maharadun, widely known as Bodu Takrufanu, to liberate the Maldives from Portuguese colonial rule. Minister Adam Sharif, speaking during the National Day commemorations held at the atoll level in Vilefahi, urges citizens to reflect on the atoll's historic contributions and draw lessons from its legacy. The minister described Shaviani Atoll as having rendered significant service during Bodu Takurufanu's campaign to free the nation from foreign subjugation. Historical records, he noted, quote, clearly demonstrate the substantial support provided by Shaviani Atoll residents, unquote. Among the connections he highlighted was the island of Maroshi, which played a vital role in the logistics of the resistance. It was from Maroshi that Bodu Takurufanu obtained the sail for his legendary vessel Karua Fummi. The ship, revered as a symbol of Maldivian honor and bravery, is believed to have regularly docked at a harbor in Maroshi designated specifically for it. These details, the minister said, are historical truths that strengthen the connection between Shaviani Atoll and Bodu Takurufanu's jihad. The minister also reflected on the loyalty of Maroshi residents who, despite the risk of Portuguese discovery, safeguarded the location of Karua Fummi. He went on to highlight Bodu Takurufanu's strategic mastery of the Maldives' sea channels and island formations. This deep understanding enabled him to navigate Karua Fummi through challenging waters, an essential advantage in confronting a formidable maritime power such as the Portuguese. The minister cited this tactical element as further evidence of Shaviani Atoll's relevance to the historical campaign. Minister Adam Sharif, in closing, turned to the present, underscoring the importance of preserving national heritage. He called for renewed efforts to restore historical sites and revive ancient crafts across the Maldives, describing such initiatives as vital to the celebration of National Day and the broader revival of Maldivian nationhood. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of the Maldives, CA Maldives, convenes its inaugural Chief Financial Officer CFO Forum, a significant step towards reinforcing the country's financial sector through professional collaboration, ethical leadership, and technological innovation. Branded as CFO Forum 2025, the event drew more than 100 participants, including chief financial officers from domestic companies, financial experts, and other professionals. The forum marks a new chapter for CA Maldives, which aims to provide a structured space for examining the nation's financial landscape and identifying strategies for long-term development. CA Maldives stated that the initiative was designed to bring together financial sector professionals to exchange knowledge and develop cooperative solutions to shared challenges. The opening ceremony featured a keynote address by Ahmad Ali Habib, Principal Secretary to the President on Cabinet Affairs at the President's Office. In his remarks, Habib underscored the importance of ethical and innovative contributions from financial professionals in shaping the sector's future. He affirmed the government's commitment to supporting CA Maldives in its efforts to build a resilient and transparent financial environment. He also pointed to the broader national impact of a stronger financial sector, citing the role of integrity-driven audits in enabling responsive lending, improving tax collection, and attracting investor interest through reliable financial reporting. Muhammad Halim Abdullah, president of CA Maldives, reiterated the forum's purpose as a venue for financial professionals to share experiences and insights. He noted that the program would explore emerging technologies and address key issues facing the sector in an increasingly complex global environment. CA Maldives, which organized the forum, was established in 2020 under the Maldives Chartered Accountants Act. The institute is tasked with regulating the accountancy profession in accordance with international standards, developing a professional accounting framework, and promoting sectoral growth. The S&P 500 ends down from record highs with losses in Dell, Nvidia, and other AI-related stocks, while investors parsed inflation data showing tariffs have started feeding into prices. According to preliminary data, the S&P 500 lost 41.50 points or 0.64% to end at 6,460.36 points, while the Nasdaq Composite lost 249.61 points or 1.15% to 21,455.55. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 91.12 points or 0.20% to 45,546.08.
First of all, you've got a Friday before Labor Day weekend. Who's even coming to work besides you and me? There's liquidity is pretty low. You've got a hearing about Fed independence. You've got NVIDIA earnings that, even though they beat, still disappointed. People were disappointed in data center revenue growth.
Nvidia dipped for a third straight day. The AI heavyweight's quarterly report fell short of investors' high expectations, but confirmed that spending related to artificial intelligence infrastructure remains strong. Dell tumbled and was among the deepest decliners in the S&P 500 after high manufacturing costs for AI-optimized servers and intensified competition overshadowed the company's bullish demand forecast for artificial intelligence infrastructure. A Palestinian presidential spokesperson urges the United States to reverse a decision to not allow Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas to travel to New York next month for a United Nations gathering of world leaders. Nabil Abu Rudenia, speaking from Ramallah in the West Bank, said the decision contradicts with international law. The U.S. State Department official said Abbas and about 80 other Palestinians would be affected by the decision to deny and revoke visas from members of the Umbrella Palestine Liberation Organization and the West Bank-based Palestinian Authority. Abbas had planned to attend the annual high-level UN General Assembly in Manhattan. He was also said to attend a summit there, where Britain, France, Australia, and Canada have pledged to formally recognize a Palestinian state. Abbas's office said it was was astonished by the visa decision and said it violated the UN Headquarters Agreement. Under a 1947 UN Headquarters Agreement, the US is generally required to allow access for foreign diplomats to the UN in New York. Washington, however, has said it can deny visas for security, extremism, and foreign policy reasons. Several European foreign ministers arriving at a European Union meeting in Copenhagen criticized the US decision. French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot told reporters that a UN General Assembly cannot be subject to any restrictions on access. Spanish Foreign Minister José Manuel Albares said the US move was unacceptable. Irish Foreign Minister Simon Harris said the EU should protest the decision in the strongest possible terms. The State Department justified its decision by reiterating long-standing US and Israeli allegations that the PA and PLO had failed to repudiate extremism while pushing for unilateral recognition of a Palestinian state. Palestinian officials reject such allegations and say decades of US-mediated talks have failed to end Israeli occupation and secure an independent state of Palestine. If Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim sounds on the brink of resignation after their shock League Cup loss to fourth-tier Grimsby Town, he clarified his comments saying emotions got the better of him. Despite overhauling their front three in the close season, United have 1 point from their first 2 league games. Their second-round elimination from the League Cup put Amorim in the hot seat, and his post-game remarks only threw fuel on the fire. Asked if he wanted to quit, Amorim said he felt that after the game and that he does not feel that now.
I felt that after the game. I don't feel that now, so it's a little bit like that. I think that is the hardest part of the defeat. Sometimes it's not the result, it's the way we lost that game or draw that game. That is the thing that is hard to accept because we can do better. It's these small things. Recover position, fight for the ball, running, all these small things. Sometimes we dropped a little bit the level. The good thing is that we now have the next game to put that level up, and that is the focus.
The 40-year-old Portuguese has been frank with reporters since he arrived last November after Erik ten Hag's sacking. Amorim was unhappy about reports that Kobbie Mainoo, hailed as one of the club's best recent homegrown products, had requested a loan move before the transfer window closes. Mainoo was an unused substitute in both of United's Premier League games, a 1-0 defeat by Arsenal and a 1-1 draw with Fulham. His only start came against Grimsby. And that's all we have for now. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a pleasant day ahead.